What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Marvel Rivals. Today we are going to be taking a look at Squirrel Girl, and I think this might be the quickest guide in the channel, at least in this series. So we're going to quickly go over her basic abilities as usual, talk about things that you would need to know, and go on from there. So I played this character a little bit last night. Very, very strong, does a crap ton of damage with very, very little effort, it seems. So we'll teach you how to do that today. So her left click is just this lob projectile. You can bounce it off walls. So bounces, goes off the floor. They detonate regardless. So as you can see, we're getting a little bit of splash damage there. It does AoE. Pretty easy. The damage is pretty comparable too. So if you direct hit, oh, sorry. Well, the direct hits do a little bit more damage, but even the splash damage will be enough to like hit a target for pretty good damage. So go for direct hits when you can, but definitely just throw this into the midst of the enemy team, and you're just going to be doing a ton of damage with hardly any effort put forward. So that's her left click. Her right click is this like charged up acorn. It does force you to release at some point. So if you just hold this down too much, it will eventually just make you throw it. The advantage to holding this is really, I guess in my opinion, is just to aim a little bit better. If you're like in the sky and you're really like sighting up a little bit, you can have a little second to sight up and make sure you hit your target. But the damage it does and the root duration does not change at all. So if you see there, they're rooted, and then you can see they're rooted for about the same amount of time, same amount of damage, all that sort of thing. So there doesn't appear to be anything that you really get out of holding the charge. The radius doesn't get bigger or anything like that, so you can still miss it pretty easily. But yeah, that's her right click. Pretty simple. Her left shift is just this hop up, so you just get a ton of height. Good for applying pressure when you're in the sky. That's really all it is. It just launches you up. There's not much more to be said about that. For her E, we're gonna have to turn off or make sure that we have ability cooldowns, but her E just resets the ability of your choice. So if you right click, you can see it goes on cooldown now. Or it didn't go on cooldown, but it would go on cooldown. Yeah, 7 seconds. If we E, we can right click again. So pretty simple. Same thing goes with your left shift. So if you have left shift and then you were to E and left shift again, you can jump twice. So sometimes a good way to get away from people. We will wait for these cooldowns to come back just so I can showcase. So we can left shift, we can E, we can left shift, and then we get like this little double jump, and we can get a ton of height off of that. So that's really just situational. Her E is just something that you would use based on the situation. So you could like right click, E, right click, and root 2 targets and just start blasting. I've just played this character as kind of a nuisance. Just throw everything you have at the enemy team, and there's just so much for them to keep track of. You're going to hit something. So, you know, just start throwing your all this, root random people, and sometimes if you just hit a random root, you can really demolish like an Iron Fist or someone that needs to be moving around like a Black Panther. If you hit a root on Black Panther, he's fried. It's just over. So make sure you're throwing out roots as much as you can, making sure that you disrupt the enemy team as much as possible, and you are doing, again, a ton of damage with your auto attacks that are splash damage, so keep that in mind. The last ability that we're going to go over is her ultimate. You hit Q, you get this little overlay, you get your ultimate, and this is the direction that these squirrels will initially start charging in. So you can do this, they'll charge around, they'll bounce around terrain, they pretty much do all the work for you. Sometimes they get stuck on characters too, and they'll double hit, which is a little bit awkward. So as you can see, that bot got double hit by the squirrels. So yeah, they just will charge around, they'll do all the damage for you. I mean, they just go crazy. I don't know. So pretty much impossible to dodge unless you're just on high ground. A lot of people will just get hit by this randomly. So definitely make more chaos. Just throw these out, throw your roots out, like just start throwing. I mean, you're just getting hit markers where you don't even really know what's going on. This character will be a nice little damage pattern, so if they're all grouped up on a payload or something like that, you will really excel in tight corridors, choke points, all that sort of stuff is when you really get a lot of value out of this character. So not super complicated, but definitely worth playing. Don't need to go for headshots or anything like that. Just lob these in there, do a ton of damage, disrupt the enemy. Whole lot of fun though. Would recommend trying this character out if you've initially dismissed her. So that's it for Squirrel Girl, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.